The population dropped like steadily the last 4 weeks from 96k to 91k. If you go to Era, it has gone up. People are now going back to Era. You're not wrong, actually, like setting up a CG, and I am part of the problem, actually, because like I don't need anything from CG.
That's the thing, though. There is things you need in ZG, but you don't want to run ZG because it's not GDKP. Like, you need 10 idols if you want to do
Bro,
all your T3, your PvP, everything. Like, you need so many idols, bro. It's just people don't want to do it. I need like 8 more idols. I don't want to do it.
I can imagine like, oh my god, if I got a GDKP and the tiger dropped, I'll be so happy.
And this is the thing about Era, and that's why I prefer Era, is Era is multicultural. And like, for example, when I make ZGs, I try to get people from Loon. It's a Chinese guild because in their culture,
Oh, they play
the
here?
tiger represents. Oh, they play on North America, bro. Then the
Crazy,
tiger
I
in their
didn't know that,
culture is
man.
like symbol of wealth, bro. And like the Loon players, bro, they buy those mounts for like 300-400k, and then you walk out with a max rank split and a ZG. And like I always run ZG every week on Era. I never miss my lockouts, but like on anniversary, I just let them rot.
I don't want to do it. Like, I could use the bracers, but like, honestly, like, I don't want to like put together a CG because like, here's the other thing, right? Like, I could go to my guild CG, but there's 10 warriors in it. I am not getting my bracers, right? So I kind of want to do my own CG.
That's how I got my Ani necklace. Like everyone in my guild's like, I need Ani head. I want to play with my guild, but at the same time, I want Ani head first. So I hosted it. And I just feel like that mentality is detracting for what an MMORPG is, because what I've noticed in Classic Era, like me, I run GDKPs like anywhere from 8 to 12 hours a day. And the experience I get in Classic Era is I raid with the Chinese, I raid with the Australians, I raid with people from UK. I don't get that in Anniversary. It's just like, I don't get that multicultural, I don't get that social club feeling. Like Era, running GDKPs all day and just meeting people, it just feels like a never-ending
Around the
house party,
clock.
bro. And like everyone's just having fun because it's like, oh, you're bidding with gold. You're getting something even if you lose something.
You
And
know, I kind of miss
Anniversary,
that from private servers, actually. Like, private servers were like
oh,
what
oh
exactly
yeah, dude.
what you're describing.
But like for example, I start at 3 a.m. like AQ40. Like half of it's gonna be like people from Asia, and then
Yeah,
half of it's gonna be Australians.
exactly.
And the Discord comms get wild.
Oh, you cannot stream EU comps anymore. That's always been a thing, man.
No, I don't stream. I used to play with Tiny Violin and Rock Apes. That's when I had to learn how to stop streaming comms.
My god, those EU people are something else. I love them though. I feel like I fit in more in EU, even though all the toxicity, because I feel like I was kind of at least allowed to be mean when I wanted to be mean. I don't know why. It's like the culture in NA. It feels like a trespassing, right? It feels like you're not supposed to say that in NA.
And the thing is, we have a lot of EU players like in North America, and like good GDKP hosts. You don't poke the bear, because North American players have a tendency to get like racist and deep cut. You do not do that on white main, because if you do that, you're going to get blacklisted by that group, and then you will not be able to host GDKPs. You will get mass reported. You will not be able to ever run again. You don't f with other people in Classic Era, because like those multiple cultures, bro, we all like, they all talk, and there's a very, very fierce respect. And that's why people don't scam pots. Like really good hosts, like they don't say TOS, because like actions have reactions, like in white main, and it's like I do not feel like it's the same in like Anniversary. Like Anniversary, you can ninja loot, screw people over. You don't give a shit, bro. There's no like, I don't care.
Even if you
Like,
get in trouble, like in 3 months, it's gonna be like some different people in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's no what's the word? It's not the same people over and over.
Repercussion is like anonymous because it's like a seasonal server, right?
Yeah, and like on Classic Era, and I think this is why a lot of people are coming back. It's just like if you do something in Classic Era, people will remember that forever. Like, it's not a small server, but it's such a small community where if you cross someone in the wrong way, they will come after you 3 years later, or they will come to your GDKP and pull mobs and wipe everything. And it's just like an Anniversary. I feel like the min-maxing culture has eroded the social norm of what an MMORPG is supposed to be in the first place. Because I feel like all like raids now are HRs, SRs, people scamming BOEs, taking bindings. It happens in GDKPs too, but the thing is, like, when gold's involved, the people that host raids have way higher levels of trust and transparency versus Anniversary.
Would you agree with the notion? Because there's Tograde, another YouTuber that made an entire video that kind of popped off a while ago. He said that everybody's time feels like a currency now more than before. Would you say that?
Oh, dude, before I bought gold and got banned in all my accounts, like I was actually farming Sunken Temple 10 hours, like 5 days a week. Like everyone, and this this is a like common misconception about me. Everyone's like, "Oh, Greek warrior buys gold." Yeah, I used to buy gold, but like the thing is, I farmed for a lot of my gold. Like my chat will tell you like how many Marathons I've done, how many strats I've done. I'm not like I did like 1,500 in sunken temples, bro. And like before they changed flasks, I'd have to do sunken temple for 16 hours
That
to
was
get
crazy.
400 gold for one flask. And I was like, this is unsustainable, dude. This is not normal.
Look at what it took
And
for them
then-
to nerf Black Lotus. Look at what it took. It took like 4 months. I said it before.
Like, I'll show
Had it
you.
not been for your drama, that thing would not have changed. They were like too busy making like the raid on Sod. They weren't looking at it.
Like I'll show you the auction house like versus like I'll show you like the Era auction house. The auction house in Era is more economically sustainable than the one on Anniversary. Anniversary's economy is so distorted because here's the thing. When you take away GDKPs, you're taking people's spending apparatuses away. And then those same spending apparatuses become redirected into end game commodities, BOEs, and consumables. And then we see a market in fluctuation. And that's why you see consumables hitting hyperinflation record PRs, because that same money that people would be spending in GDKPs for gear is just now being redirected into your auction house. And it's actually hurting people who don't buy gold more so if GDKP was allowed.
The Mongoose went up to 20, and I assure you in AQ it's gonna go like 25 at least. And like that's gonna make like so unsustainable everything.
And here's the thing, a lot of these like Anniversary people, they've never played AQ. They're gonna get hard stuck on twins, and then they're gonna become financially bankrupt and they're gonna quit.
I would say even like decent players, like say you do clear AQ the first week, you're not gonna clear as fast. You're gonna clear slower. You're gonna be wiping maybe occasionally because you're trying to learn the fights again and all that stuff, right? Like even if you got good players, getting the group of things on the first day of the raid and getting like the cohesion on the group going, right? Like everybody knowing exactly where they are supposed to stand and all that stuff, you know. Everybody's gonna be raiding twice as long now, at least, because it's gonna be MC, BWL plus AQ. That's gonna drive the prices to hell. Yeah, probably.
Because I host AQ 40s like every week in Classic Era, and I have people in this gear and we still die like every week. It's
That's
like
gonna be me.
Like, yeah, like for real. Like AQ 40 is kind of like a reality check, and I don't think people understand that the first 2 phases of the game are so elementary, like easy. And I think they don't understand that the market, for example, like a stack of mongooses on Anniversary is 67 gold. A stack of mongooses on Classic Era are 100 gold. But
Oh my
there's more
God.
inflation in Anniversary. Yeah, there's more inflation.
I
in
cannot believe that,
Anniversary
actually.
versus-
That's crazy.
Like, I'll look up flasks here.
Do they got the Lotus changes in Era, or like do you still got original
Yeah.
Lotus in Era?
Yeah, they put the Lotus change in there.
Oh, I see. Man,
But
like
like
the
in Era,
fact is
flasks-
even close. The fact it is even close to Era with 5 years of inflation in Era is mind-boggling. I cannot believe that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you have 5-6 years of currency accumulation, yet consumes are more affordable. Because think about it, your average like ZG cut is like anywhere from 5 to 1,500 a person. That is a whole round of consumes for like whatever raid you need. And you go to MC, you can get 1 to 3,000. BWL 1 to like 5,000. You go to AQ, you get a really good split. You're looking at like 1 to 10k per person if the pot goes crazy.
How much is an onslaught in Era, more or less? Like, would you say on average?
I sold one for 10k yesterday, dude.
Oh
People
my
are
God.
pouring Era because everyone's making alts. And the thing is, I haven't bought gold, but like I look at gold prices every week because I use those prices to adjust my mint bid in GDKPs. And the average player does not have gold on Era, and gold is hitting record highs right now. So I have to make my min bids very, very low because there's so many people coming back to Classic Era that like gold is just skyrocketing because like you're just like people are making alts more than ever. Like we go to Stormwind, like there's like it's packed with people. Like there's like 1, 2, 3. There's 6 different raids being filled right now.
You know, like the entire reason that I felt driven to talk to you as like an Era person right now. Let me show you exactly. I don't know if you can pull up my stream maybe to see it easier.
Yeah, I'll pull it up right now.
I'm gonna pull Iron Force Pro here. If you take a look, like what you're saying that you're feeling is exactly accurate. Like we go to Anniversary and AQ hasn't come out yet, of course. AQ is coming out on the 11th. That's gonna be the war effort, right? And if you see right here, it's not aligned. There we go. The population dropped like steadily the last 4 weeks from 96k to 91k. So that's like 4,000 people more or less. if you go to Era, it has gone up. It went from 11K to 12,600. And I heavily predict it's going to keep going up, actually. But it's very weird that when we got a fresh vanilla going on, people are now going back to Era. And I think it's exactly what you're talking about, man. You see a little sloping here?
Like,
it's like the perfect opposite.
Yeah, I'm looking at that. Well, yeah, and I see it with my own eyes, bro. Like I don't even. And here's the thing: the majority of people playing Anniversary are raid loggers.
Yep.
So like, and like majority of people playing in Classic Era, like look at all my characters. Like all my characters are locked to everything except Nax. Like all my lockouts are worth gold. All my lockouts, if I don't run a lockout on an Era, that is detrimental to my financial portfolio going into next rounds. But like on Anniversary, since there's no GDKPs, like there's no redistribution of wealth going on, I don't care about my lockouts on Anniversary. They have no value to me or anyone else. Like I can't even convince my guild half the time to go to ZG.
I mean, like, you're kind of wasting your lockout if you go to CG with the guild, because I could make my own CG and stack it with, like, mages and get my braces, right?
And what makes me upset, brother, is, like, they took away GDKPs because they're saying it's detrimental to the integrity of the game and the spirit of MMORPG, but I feel like, I just feel like HRs, SRs, people getting boosted and those people getting taken away from organic questing zones. I feel like, first of all, boosting costs more people to buy gold than any other apparatus or like variable ever. Two, I think SRs and HRs are more detrimental to the game because you're controlling what people can roll on, what they can roll on, what they cannot roll on.
I hate this, man.
I hate it too. And like GDKP,
like, I would do MSOS.
Cash is king.
Yep.
Like I like rep paladins like bidding on Goas, like going 25k. Like in Anniversary, do you think a rep paladin's gonna get Goas in their lifetime? No.
Our Prod Paladin stole a mage blade from me in Northdale. It's been like 8 years and I'm still looking for that motherfucker.
Yeah, but it's a GDKP, bro. You know, you get paid because it's a game.
I wouldn't have been that mad. Yeah, like the guy rolled on it and won it, and it was like, oh man, it's MSOS, he's Prod. Look at him, he got a shield, and I couldn't say nothing, man. I got owned. I'm still mad. It's been 7 years.
And like, and most of my chat's like agreeing with me. Like a lot of my chat, like I've noticed, like we do our weekly like fresh like anniversary thing, but it's like we're not too crazy about it. We get our raid done, we reboot like immediately, and we just raid log, and we all log in the era like right after raid and just GDKP online.
And a lot of people from my guild are telling the same story. Actually, I got like 2 friends of mine just quit anniversary. I think it was 2 weeks ago, and they are like, I'm not quitting the game. I'm going to era.
They isolated an entire community because of their interpersonal belief system about GDKP, when that same interpersonal belief system is erroneous. Because if they were so right and GDKP was that bad, everyone would be on fresh. But no, everyone is still on Classic Era, bro. In Classic Era, and I'm really happy they keep GDKP's banned on Anniversary, if I'm being honest. Like, I am so fortunate for their ignorance, because it's literally breathing life into my favorite game mode.
It actually gone up?
And I think after Fresh is done, and I hope to God, bro, they let us transfer our characters, I think we're going to see a golden age like never before in Era.
You know, I was one of those people, like, for a long time. Like, I guess I'm going to go on a bit of a tangent and go on, like, my little take on GDKP, see what you think about it. Like, early on, like, back in, like, TVC Classic, Original Classic, I thought GDKPs were terrible for the game. They were going to destroy the economy, and banning GDKPs was the solution.
Me too, man.
Yeah, and then I got to see it in SOD, and I saw that the economical impact of GDKPs was non-existent. If anything, I think the economy got worse.
Oh, it did get worse. Yeah. That's why I had to stop playing SOD. I couldn't, like, I'm not going to spend 10 hours of my day farming gold. I can't do that.
So many people, man, because we play the game all day. Like, if you want to farm gold all day, or me, we could, right? Like, there's a lot of people that got like a decent amount of time, like 2 hours a day to play, right? Those people cannot raid seriously anymore in Anniversary. They just can't.
They can't raid seriously. And the only way to fix that, in my mind, is you bring GDKPs, you bring a classic WoW token, you cut the middleman out, G2G will go crazy.
Can you imagine token without GDKP? I would myself.
Oh, yeah, you can't say that. in game.
In Minecraft. Yeah, sorry about that, yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that, chat. But yeah, no, seriously, they need to, and this is how they fix it. They need to regulate the economy, bro. They need to regulate the economy. They need to put a WoW Classic token in, let people GDKP, because the only downside to GDKP is the currency conversion rate is controlled by a third-party website. And if they fucking got rid of that and they snapped it out, bro, they got G2G out of the equation, and they put a WoW token and they put a currency regulator on it, I think the longevity of the game would explode, bro. Like, you don't need a finance degree to realize that when you redistribute wealth and you reward people on the interpersonal merits within raid, they're most likely to log on. Versus, I spent 10 hours, I farm consumes, I lost OSG to a dude with a 16% activity time. Like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I just feel like GDKP is way more fair. I would debate any developer in the face about it.
You know, I proposed something a while ago because, like, I never had very strong feelings on GDKPs. If GDKPs were allowed, I would do GDKPs. I feel like I would prefer not to do GDKPs, but if they allow it, I am going on GDKPs hard, right? But what if they did the next fresh or whatever they do, like one server for GDKPs and one server for no GDKPs?
I've said that for years. I said that for years. And if Blizzard was as smart as they think they are, Granite would be like, all right, let them have their cake and eat it. Let them have their GDKP server, because they're like, they're wrong about everything. Watch that server not work. And I guarantee you the GDKP server, the non-GDKP server would probably die out, and the GDKP server would become the preferred one. Because guess what? In Classic era, there is a non-GDKP server. It's called Deviant Delight, and it's dead. And everyone came to white main because GDKP is the main currency, is the main raid apparatus here. And that's why we're seeing the population, like the population just keeps exploding weekly, bro. We're gaining like 1,000 new people every weekend here. It's insane. Like, dude, I'm making my third ult right now in ZG because I can't, like, I'm getting locked out.
My content goal for MOP is farming 24 tokens, 2 years. I don't know how long it's gonna take me.
Are they gonna allow GDKP in MOP?
It's allowed, yeah. If
Dude,
they
like,
don't allow it, I probably wouldn't
me.
even raid. MOP was like the main turning point for me in GDKPs, where I thought, okay, this is the one time where if there were no GDKPs, I probably would not even bother raiding. It was MOP.
I'm worried about waking up one day and they just ban GDKPs in Classic era and it dies out, man. Because GDKPs gives a reason for like Big Billy and his T3, like Thunder Fury, with like Kiss of the Spider, Widow's Remorse, a reason to go into ZG. Once you get the gear from those old raids, you don't want to go back. But when GDKP is a variable that's allowed, it makes your lockouts a whole different like ball game.
Molten Core feels like such a slog now, man, in Anniversary.
Yeah.
Because I am never getting onslaught. There's 20 warriors. Right? So like I'm just going there for nothing every single week.
And that's like, and I don't like that mentality, because that same mentality, brother, leads to people quitting. Why should I spend 20 hours a week farming herbs, farming this, to lose my bis to someone with green parses in a low activity time? I hate that, dude. That drives me crazy. But you need to make an era character in North America.
I might. I don't know. I feel like I'm super burnt out now, and like perfect segue. You're making my job so easy right now, man. What's your opinion on what Dwarf Lord, I'm sure you know him, he coined this term, Mickey Mouse rank 14. What's your opinion on the rank 14 changes?
I actually coined that term four months ago, and he stole it from me. Yeah, it's because I said it in the IGSI Discord.
Okay,
yeah, he stole it from me.
Let me make it transparent. He never claimed to coin it. I just assumed he did. Okay, I'm sorry now.
No, you're good. Yeah, no, I was the first one to say Mickey Mouse rank 14 because when I got banned, I had to remake all my characters, and I was literally bending over rank 14s on a warlock in like questing greens, and like them taking away the prestige ranking is absolutely disrespectful to the people that got rank 14 through the traditional means, because now everyone has rank 14. They play like dog, and the rank 14 is a requirement. Since it's normalized, ranking's normalized, you have to be rank 14 to even go into ZG. You like AQ 20, they're like, oh, you want to roll on heroic straight? Show me rank 14. Like, you already know people are going to use that as an apparatus to gatekeep other players out of loot.
I took a screenshot the other day. I don't know where I got it, but you can imagine. I'm sure you inspect people when you're on the gate in Alterac Valley. I do it all the time, right? It's like the one thing I do when I wait for the thing to open, right?
I'm usually tapped around because I don't want to be lazy, so I'm like tapped around.
You play on 4 accounts. You got that right.
But you see, what are you about? You see people with no enchants on their rank 14
not only no enchants. I wish that was the only thing. I regularly see people on literal grace, or like the shitty reputation blues from like level 25 PvP, and they are rank 13. Like, imagine that for a second. You got like the epic set, the entire epic set, and then you got like not a single dungeon item on you. It's got to that point.
It's gotten to that point because when you normalize 500k rank 14 like Mickey Mouse Club, people are not going to raid, and they see themselves getting rank 14 as their only pathway to getting gear because they're at the mercy of hard reserves, HRs, corrupt loot console, a bunch of other failed looting apparatuses. And those people are actually the smartest ones out of all of us because they realize they'd rather not play the game and just rather play a different game and just get better gear in the process doing so. And I think that's destroying the integrity of raiding.
I am not a PvPer. I do not like PvP. I feel like the PvP changes destroyed raiding for me. My enjoyment of the game like went down to like a cliff the second that PvP gear became available. I didn't even want a PvP and I had to do it for my rank 14 as well, right? It's the bar. It's the bar. Like you want to do a POG Molten Core right now, people say, like you see it on the postings on the global chat all the time. Rank 14 required. You seen that before?
Oh,
What
I've seen
bizarre
that.
world.
Even, dude, like wait till AQ40 next. They're gonna like, oh, if you're not rank 14, you're not rolling on Kiss of the Spider. Like there was a certain loot in my guild that we didn't even let people who weren't rank 14 roll on because their gear wasn't like just good enough to get an upgrade. And I'm guilty of using that myself because I want upgrades to go into people with rank 14. But I think rank 14 being a requirement to go to a catch-up raid such as ZG or Molten Core is just a completely erroneous notion spearheaded by ignorant people in general.
We got better gear than the raids can give us.
Dude, and this is another thing, and this is a very unpopular opinion that a lot of people like disagree with me a lot. I think PvP and PvE queues should be two separate things. You play in a PvE server, you don't want to fight for your world buffs, you get to queue with other people that don't fight for their world buffs. There's no reason for people that play PvE server to be in the same BG as someone that rolled into a PvP server.
I think I agree. Yeah, that probably would be a lot less toxic.
Because the PvP people, they want to fight. The PvE people, they're like, 1 second, I need to put on my nerd glass.
He got
like,
nerd
if you go
glass.
south, you're gonna ruin my HPH. If my HPH goes under 15k, I'm just gonna start mass reporting people. Like the PvE people, like are the ones that mass report. Like the PvP players, they like Sapper, free action potion, recklessness, sweeping strikes, crystal, rocket helm. Like it's fun playing with those people.
I think indirectly though, like the reason for all this toxicity is not really the PvE players, but the fact that rank 14 is so easy to get that you're pretty much forced to, right? Like we established that. Like when everybody's rank 14, you have to be rank 14 or you don't get to do stuff anymore. So a lot of PvE players that don't want a PvP at all, and I would put myself in that category, right? Like we are thrown in with PvPers and we don't want to participate in that because we don't want a PvP period, but you have to raid. So like I think that creates like this entire rift in the first place. Like that you're forcing PvE people to play along PvP people and they want to do different stuff and they are forced to like deal with each other now, you know?
I feel like 500k ranking normalization is okay for classic era. And I feel like a classic era, the cap should be, I think the cap for 500k should be codependent on what the current population of the server is and how many people are actively queuing. Because the problem for classic era players, it's the complete opposite. They have to wait AV weekend, they even rank. So you have people getting rank 14 over the course of like 2 to 4 months for like, and I think anniversary, the cap should be increased. And for classic era, the cap should be decreased if we're going to go, like, if we're going to cap honor. And that's why I don't like capping honor in the first place, bro.
Yeah, this is one of those mistakes that you cannot take them away anymore. I am a PvE player and I don't want a PvP, and I want PvP to be like twice as hard as it is. I want it to be unreasonable to get for like a non-PvPer because it messes with raiding.
And now that everyone has rank 14 gear and it's become normalized, it's become a requirement for everyone to get, and not everyone has the time to farm 500k honor a week. And now those same people that don't have time to play the game and they can't GDKP are being penalized in their own personal rates on sometimes BIS loot because people are like, oh, you're not rank 14. I don't want you getting OSG. And I've done it to my guildies too, man. And it's just like, it hurts. I don't want to do that. But when you normalize rank 14, your BIS has to go to people who got rank 14. And I don't like that.
When I hear some man,
hit me.
The last CTS that dropped in anniversary BWL current content, it went to a maze.
Wait, what? Say that again?
We were all rank 14. We didn't need the CTS. It went to a maze.
Oh yeah, that's been happening a lot, yeah.
And like, this is like the worst part. It's not even the fact that I'm forced to rank it, because as much as I don't want to do it, I am done with it. I am finally rank 14. I don't have to do it again. I am not excited for gear anymore, you know? Like,
you will be for AQ, but at the same time, you kind of won't be, and I do agree with that.
It's not even that much. Like, Dwarf Lord ran the numbers. It was like 6.5% more DPS. In a world without ranking, that would be like 12% more damage at least. Will it make a big difference by the time we get to Nax if I got AQ gear or not? Not to mention I gotta get it in the first place. It's gotta drop and I gotta win it. Like, before this ranking thing, like a CTS dropped, it was a huge fucking deal, man.
Yeah, someone in the chat was like, my horde guild is Reed you gem, you have to be rank 14. And as a healer, I don't want to rank. Yeah, that's stupid. Like heal, oh my god. Like, dude, why do healers have to get rank 14? Why? That's
That's
like
so
melee only
sad.
thing. And then now like that's a perfect example of people are like using rank 14 as an umbrella term. Your guild doesn't understand. You don't even need to be rank 14 as a healer, bro. Like you can like literally get rank 10 and you can do bis healing and max. And oh my god, that pissed me off. I'm sorry.
Some of those sets are actually dog for healing.
Oh yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, but the thing is, these people, these anniversary players, are so ignorant to that. Because they're like, oh, rank 14, rank 14. They see rank 14 as like the top thing, when in reality, rank 14 is only good for certain classes and certain specs.
The weapon is not even that big a deal. Like, will it make a big difference if your healer druid is rank 14 or not? Will you notice that in your HP bar at all in a raid of 40 people? That's sad.
The only time I can see rank 14 everyone being a real thing is if you're doing like a 10-minute BWL and you're pushing out like prayer of healing the entire time. That's the only time I can see that. But that's a perfect example. People are making rank 14 required for everything, and it's just you're literally destroying the integrity of the game and what raiding's all about. And that's like that viewpoint becomes further exasperated when GDKPs are removed, because those people don't have catch-up mechanics. ZG, you got to be rank 14 to go to ZG. And like now that GDKP is a thing, these people don't have an apparatus to catch up, and then now they're just gonna quit.
And not to mention it kills ults too. Like, what are you gonna do? Get rank 14 on all your ults?
Oh, I made my new paladin, bro. I got my ass beat in game, and I'm like, the only way I can beat that guy is if I get rank 14. I don't want to do that.
Well, but you're a PvPer at least. You at least like want to get like PvP gear for PvPing. Like, say you're a PvE guy, right? AQ is coming out. You want to start over. Maybe you want to start playing the game now, because before this whole thing, there was a lot of new players coming into Anniversary all the time. Like, do you wanna like just the thought in your head that to get to actually raid and play the game with everybody else, you gotta spend like, what is it, a month and a half in Alterac Valley? How long does it take to get rank 14? Like 6 weeks? I got no idea.
6 weeks, but right now all the good rankers left, so everyone's waiting for AV weekends now, because HPH rate currently has been 10 to 15k, and when everyone else was ranking, HPH was 20 to 25k. That's why I'm not ranking until AV weekend, bro. All the smart people are done.
I was 2 weeks late, and like my honor per hour like coding like 5k. It was so painful.
And that's the thing, and I keep doubling back to GDKPs. It's like, it's not a cope, but like GDKP was just, you got some gold, you can go raid, you can go buy, you can get gear. But now GDKP is gone. You're either forced to rank or you literally get.
I totally feel
I don't
you.
like that mentality. Like, yeah, like I really wanted to rank on my new paladin, dude, but like the HPH was like 9k. Like I can't do it, man.
My last week was like, I actually tallied it up. It was 12k average. It took me, I don't even know how long. And granted, I was AFK all the time, but still, I don't think if I were to actually try, I would have gotten more than 15k.
Dude, I was like blowing consume sapping like on my paladin. Like I was winning like at 1v1s. I was like going for picks the entire time. Like I was like pumping like 10, 11k sometimes. So yeah, dude, like, and that's another thing. Consumes are so expensive, and it's like, you don't like, do you want to get a little bit more honor, or do you want to spend your gold? It's like, that's what's in the back of my mind when I'm going for picks, trying to get more honor in a turtle.
Do you think they should buff Arati Basin and Warzone Gulch?
I think they should double the honor for both of those. And I think they need to fix all the safe spots at WSG. I'm not against skips. If you could master a skip, that means you're really good at the game and you've probably played enough WSG to comprehend the very minute details, and you deserve to be able to do a skip. The thing that a lot of people don't queue WSG anymore is because they don't have timers. Like war games, the
turtles are so bad.
But it's like, it's not even a turtle, bro. It's just like, I'll double cap on someone at WSG and they refuse to give up, and good for them. And then like it just gets dragged out into the person safe spotting, 10-man defense, and it's just like, that's why no one wants to queue WSG. And if they like double, I think WSG should be triple honor in my opinion. It's a very hard consume intense BG, and like a lot of people shit on WSG, but there's a reason why the best players in Classic just spam WSG all day. It's because it requires you to think 24/7.
I got several rank 14 people in my Discord. You might actually, in my guild, I mean, that you might actually have run into, and they are rank 14 and they are doing Warzone goals for fun because they love the technical aspect of it.
Oh yeah, it's incredible. I love WSG. It's just, you don't want to go in there unless you have rank 14 consumables. Like you're gonna get ran up on. Like WSG is a very hard BG.
Like, just compare that. Like Warzone goals takes an entire organized premade. It costs you a lot of money that in Alterac Valley you don't really need, because you get all the honor regardless. resources, and they get less honor than Alterac Valley by a huge margin.
Yeah, and I think that's an erroneous notion, again, considering that you're exerting more effort into winning WSG versus
Should be more.
AV. Yeah, like AV is just a daycare for PvEers, like in my opinion. Like it's just, there's no like PvP.
I would say like they could do something like if you're actually winning a lot of wars and goals, or like if you're actually really trying. And I don't know what's your take on this, but what's your take on like when they made it so like premates only face other premates? Because I think that actually nerf wars and goals at all for like the farmers.
I think it should be premade only. As someone who's ran a lot of premates, it's nice to like run over another team, bro. But like when you're being ran over, it's like you're like, dude, why am I? It makes people knock you again. Like I'm used to it because I used to play WC a lot. I had multiple tabards before Gren took them away. But like I understand why people don't play WSG, and it's just like people don't want to contend against people who have been playing this game nonstop like since 06, 07. And like a lot of WSG players are very seasoned, like they're very good at the game.
How would you fix like this premade problem? Because like I understand what you're saying, right? Nobody wants to get rolled over, and I totally get why they made the premade change. But do you think that premade versus premade should get like an honor bonus or some sort of compensation for, you know, getting premates together? Because I feel like those are like the worst honor per hour even than just playing normally with pugs at that point.
I think the longer the game goes on, like I don't know how you measure it, but like if your WSG is like an hour long, I feel like you should get a bonus honor after a certain amount of time. And like there people could probably find a way to cheat it or some shit, but like I just feel like WSG it needs to be reworked, like in terms of like rewarding players more for their efforts, because WSG players, it's just they spend a lot of money to play their favorite game, and it's just you can literally not use a single consume in like 4 or 5 times their honor, and like I think that's erroneous.
AFK, you can 4 or 5 times their honor. Like I was one of those people in 2019. I didn't want to rank, and I didn't, and nobody expected me to rank. Granted, I was playing a druid, but I never felt pressure to rank. And you know, like different strokes for different folks. And now everybody has to rank, period. That's the part I hate.
And as someone who's like hosting raids all the time, like I stream, like this is like all I do. Like I go to raids all the time. I don't even have time to rank. I literally have to wait for AV weekend to go rank sometimes. And it's just like, I'm just not a big fan of the ranking system. And it's just like, I'm a big fan of it. It makes the gear easier, but like, I feel like the cap should like fluctuate depending on how many total people are actively queuing. It shouldn't be like a static cap.
I don't know. People propose many solutions. Like I would say like, and this is probably never going to happen because this would require actual work, and you know what company we're talking about. But I think like some sort of like actual elo rating would do, like a solo queue elo. I think that's the real solution. You know, like a Warzone Gold elo ranking ladder.
Like I liked Retail's version of like quote unquote ranking, and it's just like levels you unlocked just by playing nonstop. And it wasn't like a cap. You could play as much as you want.
Yeah, like, but like where I was going with this, like the system in TBC Arena is basically the higher rating you get, the more points you get. Like, so if you're a gladiator, you get, I don't know the number, you get like 100 points every week. And if you're like some low rank, maybe you get like 20 points. So if you're bad, eventually you get your gladiator weapon, eventually you get your gladiator gear, but it takes you way longer.
Yeah.
I think that something like that would work. You know,
Yeah,
like
like
you
too.
still gotta win, but if you wanna just grind it all day, you can.
Gren's on Blue Sky. He doesn't even use Twitter, bro.
Like he is on Blue Sky now, maybe, but like he was on Twitter every day. Like at one point, I was wondering when does he get anything done? There is such a thing as listening to the community too much. Like I completely believe that Twitter has more influence on Classic WoW right now than like some people at the board, at the meetings at Blizzard. And Twitter is an echo chamber, just like Reddit is an echo chamber, right? Like if you just got a Twitter addiction and you stay all day on Twitter, you're gonna get a vision of the world that's not real. Like the GDKP is a great example. Like if you go to Reddit, you would believe that like 90% of people are against GDKPs.
That's why I like RuneScape. This is where I talk about it every time, and I know the developers get personally offended at this. World of Warcraft likes to copy games. I wish they would copy one more game. And
they will never put polls in. You know they won't.
School RuneScape, because you know why they will never put polls?
Because they think they cannot do any wrong.
The thing is, if Blizzard was as confident as they believe they were, they would put the polls in the game like, oh, it's gonna lose. I guarantee you, GDKP would have 80% like plus for like vote, like in like on anniversary. They're scared to do polls because they know how that's gonna go, because they know it's not a Reddit like X echo chamber. And I think the people that pay your bills should be the ones you should be listening to, not Reddit, not Twitter. And Gren left Twitter because people were adding him and getting into really long arguments, and then Gren would lose and he doesn't know how to save face. That's why he went to Blue Sky.
Why is he arguing with people on Twitter in the first place, man? Like, if you get
exactly.
Like, why are you even doing that? Assume you're right. Like, why? Like, just why? Like, it's not a good look. It was never a good look for Blizzard to have the main developer of the game just arguing with Twitter all day. I don't know, like the PR team at Blizzard is asleep at the wheel so many times. Like, there's some stuff behind the scenes going on with like how they botch so many interviews. I actually had a couple conversations with streamers privately. None of these guys were talking about it, actually, like different people. But like I had to sit them down like several times and go like, does Blizzard pay your bills or do your viewers pay your bills? Because like, what can Blizzard do for you, really, to be afraid to talk about? Because a lot of people actually agree with you privately and they will never say it.
And it's just like, I'm not trying to get political. It's just I can't shut my mouth when these people ignore our community. They listen to people on Reddit. They listen to people that have not even heard the ambience track the Naxxramas. And they would rather listen to people on the internet versus the people that pay for the bills. And I find that extremely disrespectful to your community and the people that make it possible for him to like eat all day. Like,
I think they think Twitter is real. I think they believe Twitter is a real place. I think that's it. I don't think it's even like...
Yeah, I agree. Like, when's the last time one of those developers logged in Classic Era and be like, why do you play on here? Like, I was hosting MC yesterday, bro. I was like, why are you guys playing Classic Era? And like 30 of them GDKP.
And a lot of them are actually like very high-end raiders. Like, we're talking like actual top 3 speedrunners in the world. And I don't think that's a great echo chamber to be in either, because like they do play the game. They just play the game in a way that's different to like 99% of every Classic player. And I'm not saying they are bad. They are actually, some of the people at Blizzard are actually super good at the game, man. They simply do not get to see what most people experience.
I got a question for you. What do you think about world buffs?
Personally, I hate them, but I know they are never going to take them away.
And this is another good segue I wanted to get into, like world buffs in general. I think you should be able to turn in multiple hearts. Once you turn in the heart, you get your one quest reward. But I think for the longevity of the game, they should let people turn in world buffs or make it a thing that you can buy.
My brother in Christ, why does Rend have a cooldown still?
Yeah, why does Rend have a cooldown? Exactly.
God.
Why? And it's just the thing in the Chinese servers. They don't have buff cooldowns. There's actually something called like a world buff wizard. It's like an NPC. And it's like, I would like to start the ceremony for this world buff, and you give them money and it just drops. I hate that so much because on Classic Era, on Anniversary, you have to wait for buffs all day sometimes. And your whole playtime for that sit down is just you waiting on world buffs. And I just think the Chinese servers are doing it right. They let people GDKP. They let people buy world buffs. The Chinese developers listen to their player base very well, and I don't understand why they can't do the same for like the players in North America and the EU.
Like they put the token in from the start. Did you know that in Classic 2019? They got the token in Era right now. Whatever Chinese equivalent is, they got the token.
Oh yeah. I heard about that. Yeah, and their economy is probably more stable.
Yeah, they got taken out of China for a while in WoW. Like when Salt came out, that's like the reason they nuked Salt early on. They were out of China when Salt came out, and then China came back like 2 years later, and they were like, if we're gonna put development time, we're gonna put development time in something we can sell to the Chinese, because like WoW is huge in China.
Yeah, Zareen is the reason why we don't have GDKPs. And Zareen yesterday was on Twitter verbally cleaving like people and arguing with them. That guy's
another guy on Twitter all day. Another guy that's on Twitter all day.
That dude's like, if I was a WoW developer, like, and I'm sorry to say this, if your bio says my interpersonal views don't reflect the disposition of my company, you're probably someone who says stupid fucking shit all day and should not be in the position of power they're currently sitting.
I wouldn't say bad person, but if you're gonna make claims on the game you're working on, and then you wanna say that you're not speaking on the behalf of the company, like, come the fuck on, man. Maybe you shouldn't be talking on Twitter about it.
Like, here, I'll actually, it pissed me off what he said.
Yeah, he used to work for League of Legends, actually. I remember that. I don't know how he ended up in Blizzard. I don't know much about the guy.
I know a lot about him. I'm actually.
They should get out of Twitter. Like, I really think that developers should get like the hell away from Twitter for a while. Like, Twitter is poisoning their vision of the game. I really do believe that. Even if you mean well, if you spend too much
I'm
time on
about to
Twitter.
verbally cleave this dude so bad. Check out this picture. So
Oh
I
my
put it
god.
here. I'll put it in public too. Yeah, he's like Zareen was talking about updates and shit, and this guy's like, yeah, and Zareen posts daily, and this guy Nico Gaming Live is like, hello, why do
Oh
you
my
bother pretending to
god.
work since Mop will be dead after 2 weeks? And he's like, the same reason you streamed to one viewer, my man. Zareen was the same person in TBC who cried about getting outbidded on all his SSC loot while streaming live on Twitch because the dude was like blue purple parses, played like shit, and then cried about losing
Wow.
bids. And this guy was the main catalyst. And I like I'm friends with Craxy. Like he knows Zareen like lore very well. This was the guy who got GDKPs removed completely because he lost all his loot all the time when he could have taken his time and redirected it and going to a 2SR. Like
That
I just like
comment
this
is
guy.
so crazy. Like a Blizzard employee making that comment is so crazy. Like how's this fly? Like relevancy
Like,
checking, a random guy asking you something in WoW. Like I get it, you get a mean comment, but ignore it. Like
and that's like the example I want to use because problem is a lot of these Blizzard developers are emotionally immature Mickey Mouse adults that don't use raw logic and they make the biggest decisions of their life based off their interpersonal feelings. And like these tweets are perfect examples of that. Like perfect examples of emotional immaturity.
work on
at
any
the
other
highest
company and do
levels.
that. Like go work at McDonald's and make that tweet if somebody tweets at McDonald's.
If you made that tweet at McDonald's, you would never work again.
Yeah, like this is such a ass look. This is
The
not a
initial
good look
question
at
was-
all.
And the thing is, it's someone of my thing is like, oh, that initial comment is rude, saying you should pretend
Ignore
you
it.
pretend to work.
Absolutely. I think you shouldn't answer to it,
Ignore
period.
it. And the thing is, that dude's comment directly proved him right because if he was spending so much time working in the game, that comment would have flown under his radar. But the fact this dude cares more about his online social media presence than our game, and that's why he
Think
made that
about
comment.
it.
The
Think
guy-
about it. Because
Yeah.
the guy got a mean
He's
comment
genius.
and he instinctively looked up that guy's profile, found his Twitch, and went to his analytics. That's what it means, right?
Yeah, and he's just like extremely, and that's what I'm saying. These are the same people that got GDKP removed from the game because they have this failed interpersonal belief system that GDKPs are bad for the game, when in reality, their interpersonal disposition is highly erroneous. And these tweets are perfect examples of emotional immaturity at the highest of levels. Extremely unprofessional. I'm a nobody streamer, and I wouldn't even say this shit on Twitter.
I actually talk about this with other streamers all the time when they get mean comments, like never own the liberals on the comments, like making a joke, like those old videos of owning liberal, because in your head you look like, oh, I am owning it, and everybody else looks at you, and even if you're right, you look like so insecure when you do that. Never do that. You never reply to mean comments.
Yeah, that Nico guy played it masterfully. That like honestly, that I want to like reach out to that dude and be like, thank you.
Reach out to him, pull him out.
If he was busy, if he was busy as he fucking claims to be, like he wouldn't even read that comment.
No, he's not even reading the comment. He clicked on his profile, went to his Twitch,
Yeah, he went to
put
his
it on
analytics.
Twitch tracker to see the viewers he had on average, and then he said that. Like, it's like at least 2 minutes that he spent on that mean comment.
That's 2 minutes he took away from making our game better and redirected into roasting some random dude just because, again, emotional immaturity at the highest levels.
It's not even like the time. Maybe he was doing it on his free time or whatever. But I'm just saying, like, the level of insecurity, you gotta have to do that. Like, oh, somebody says something mean to me, I gotta make sure I got more clout than they do.
The thing is that Z, and the problem I have with that guy is Zarain was like literally one of the biggest advocates for removing GDKPs after TBC.
I didn't know that.
He tried to get it removed. Yeah, he tried to get it removed in TBC. Like he literally
did
tried
stream
his
it.
hardest to get removed.
I know he was streaming back in TVC Classic. I don't think he was
Yeah,
in
he did.
Blizzard then.
He deleted most of his VODs of him bitching about it. I'm not even kidding. AC Murda, thank you so much for 2 months of continued support. But yeah, like he deadass deleted all his VODs over it. Like his people like Craxy, one of my good boys. I wish he could come on the stream. He's a lore master.
Lord
Fucking
Master.
like no, dude. I'm friends with these people. IGSI Coalition. They have been around the block in this game. They know everything about these guys. Like in Zarain, he had clips of Zarain like crying about GDKPs. Like, this isn't fair. Ba ba ba. And it's like, dude, you could just choose to go to a 2SR. But like, no, his emotional immaturity led him to the point to no, we're just gonna ban it instead of giving people like the right to choose.
I got no idea about the lore of Siren or anything, but if you got such a chip on your shoulder that the second you get a mean comment, you spend 2 minutes looking up the guy's life to make fun of him, item. I can believe that he got a chip on his shoulder because he lost one item. I can believe that. He looks like the kind of person that will get a chip on his shoulder for that.
He lost a two-hander in SSC as a red paladin, not seal twisting correctly and not using a Rengine Wrath the correct time, and he was crying about it. His parses are like absolute dog shit. And like, again, I don't want to be toxic with the parses, but I do believe your parses gives you a certain amount of credibility within certain discussions. And like the thing is that an actual dev? Yes, code. That is an actual dev speaking to someone like that. Yes, that's an actual dev. And I feel like parses aren't king, but the people who cry about GDKP the most tend to be the biggest shitters. Like, I've never had someone produce good Warcraft logs while being totally against GDKP.
I know a few actually, but I think like the people that don't want to do GDKP are not even the people that are like actually bad at the game, are the people that don't want to deal with people, period. There is lots of those.
I agree with that. And the people I've noticed that are against GDKP have this self-serving mentality when MMORPGs are supposed to be everything opposite of the self-serving mentality, because you're in a world built up of different characters, and guess what, you're not the main character. And I think GDKP is the ultimate like physical manifestation of fairness. Like in like any other raid, OSG is going to go to the oldest raider or the top performer. GDKP, those items are going to the oldest player who has been around and probably has the most gold out of anyone. And it's just like, I'm just so tired of what the like. I wish I could play Anniversary, bro. It's just I can't. Like I do my 1 week raid and I just log off and I play Era the whole week, bro. Like Anniversary is just such dog shit to me.
I feel you, and like I guess this could be like the closing topic of the discussion. Would you be rather doing AQ or Nax?
Is your question like is GDKP allowed in your question?
Okay, yeah, assume there is GDKP allowed in both scenarios. Just look like the raids themselves.
Nax Ramus. I'd skip AQ entirely. You don't need
exactly.
AQ gear to clear Nax.
Absolutely
you have
not.
Your rank 14 gear.
We got better gear than a lot of AQ items already. Like, yeah, I get it. Like, a lot of AQ items are better. They are like almost the same item. Like, what's the difference between rank 14 shoulders and the AQ shoulders? It was like not even that much.
Someone made a really good comment. Not having the right to choose how you want to play while paying a monthly sub is absurd. And I agree with that. And like, look at people like Zerain, how he talks to people in a public setting. And those are the very same people who get offended by GDKP because they are closed-minded and extremely ignorant, despite thinking they're like open-minded and like liberal. And then those people go on to make decisions that isolate entire communities. Their decision to ban GDKP is the reason why Era's literally been like a non-stop house party the last 3 weeks. And I love it. I hope they keep being ignorant.
Yeah, I think like when AQ comes out, and like this is a prediction I made for a while for all the people that hold me accountable when I predict something and it doesn't happen.
I saw your question on YouTube about it. I saw you do a poll on it on YouTube.
Which one? Would you rather play AQ or TBC?
No, I thought it was like, do you think people will quit during AQ? It was something to do with AQ, but yeah, I was like, yeah, they're going to quit or they're going to stop. They're not going to want to play it.
Like, I think a lot of people like AQ, but at that point, a lot of people are going to go, do I want to do AQ in Anniversary for 800 gold a week, or do I want to just go Era? I think that's going to be the catalyst, like the time requirement to do AQ in Anniversary.
Bro, think about the idols. Like, we haven't even talked about idols. People are going to host AQs.
Oh, they are going to get HR'd up the ass.
Reserved, and then the ones that aren't reserved, they're going to be like 10,000 gold each, and they're like, nah, fuck that. Do you want to do an AQ SR? Like, no, because that SR is going to have fucking HRs, bro. Every SR has an HR. I'm sorry.
Yep, especially if you got the leverage. If you got like a good tank and a couple healers, you can pretty much rule the world in Anniversary.
Yeah, and like Goas, those aren't going to be free rolled. Dark Edge and Sandy, that's not going to be free rolled. Do you think you're going to get Burrow Shell? Haha, nah, you're not going to get shit, bro. The only thing you're going to get, and people are going to like HR the Trash Mace, they're going to HR Robes of Ascension, they're going to HR everything, bro. And that's why, in my mind, I think HRs, SRs are more toxic and detrimental to the game than any
I hate this
like, will ever. I hate SR too. It's a waste of time.
Like with a 40 men, like I used to back in Solman, I used to run like pogs with my chat all the time. I used to get like 20 idiots from my chat, and we used to have like a super Monka raid. It was super fun though, even though it was a disaster most of the time. And the reason I don't do it anymore, like no lie, I don't want to wait for 40 people to not do their SR. Like it's always like 3 people, and people tell me, oh, just go with the raid and ignore them that they don't have the SR, tough luck, they didn't sign it. Then they leave the raid because they are like, oh, I didn't get the SR. You had that happen before?
Oh, yeah, I've had that happen before. And what I've been seeing in ZGs, and one of my viewers point out to me, is you can't roll the idols at the start. Because if the people that lose their idol roll, they leave. They just leave.
Yeah, CG, I cannot roll. That happened to me too. I had to stop.
If there's a GDKP, Sorry, go ahead.
I had to start rolling out the loot at the end of CG because I couldn't do Hakar because I would start with like 20 people and I would end with like 10 by the time we get to Hakar because every time somebody loses a roll, they just leave all the time, man.
And the thing is, in GDKP, I lose my item. I'm not leaving because I'm getting a cut. I'm getting paid at the end of that run. There is the carry down the stick. There's that incentive. There's that motivation to play. But I lose my SR and I'm like, I host CGs. I don't even want to keep running it, dude. Like, I don't know. Can you imagine if you can right click?
And if he leaves, you know, more gold for you.
Yeah. Oh, dude. I no, not more gold for me. If people don't perform on GDKPs, I take their cut and I roll 1 to like 30 and I casino it and we start playing like casino music in the background. Yeah, bro. I'm not even kidding, bro. Like, I was playing Break the Targets, like Super Smash Brothers Melee, and we did like 3 casinos, and people were like screaming. Imagine if you can right-click your character, man. You know how you have like free for all, group loot. Imagine if you just had GDKP, and it's just like the game auto did it for you, and you removed any form of scamming, you removed everything. Like, I don't know, man. It's just there's so many solutions and ways they can rectify this issue, but they'd rather like look at Z. He'd rather just post on Twitter all day instead of like logging in the game and be like, okay, why is Anniversary having a population issue? Why is there more active raids than Classic Era right now? But no, they'd rather redirect that time into like screaming into their interpersonal echo chambers instead of engaging with the customers that literally pay their bills. Like, it's so ignorant.
And like, I do think they put quite a lot of work. I do think they crunch quite a lot of hours, but they just listen to Twitter all day. And Twitter is balance changes in Sol were made on a dime because too many people complain on Twitter. Like, I actually took advantage of this all the time. Like, I used to say, like, guys, complain on Twitter. We need warrior buffs. Complain on Twitter because I knew they would buff it. And 2 weeks later, they would buff it. That's all it took. Like, and I am nobody, right? But if you get like 20 people to say on Twitter that the warrior needs a buff, they would do it. I've seen it happening so many times. It was like a whole meme, but it was true.
And the problem is, I've noticed a lot of people in Classic Era, and I try my best to use Twitter to engage on them on their battlefield. A lot of Classic Era players don't have social media. A lot of people in they don't use Twitter. There's some correlation between Classic WoW players and not having social media, and I can't figure it out. But like,
I don't like it. WoW is my social media.
Oh my god, that's honestly one of the best quotes. Dude, you know what? Like, I want to piggyback off what you just said, man. Like, I log in Classic Era. I have my Chinese friends. I have my Australian friends. I have like my friends from the UK. I have my friends from South America. I have friends from all over the world in Classic Era. I log in, they're like, yo, Big Greek, yo, Big Gold, Big Mike, what will we do? And we just run shit all night, bro. And then sometimes in AQ40 and twins, when you say drop ignite, you gotta be like, hey, por favor, lasagna for more, bro. Por favor, bro. It's a social club. It's literally like social media, bro.
No, actually, I met very long-lasting friendships from like all private server days that I still hang out with, and I feel like I always consider myself a social player. I am not a parser, I am not a PvPer, I am not a pumper. I am quite honestly pretty dog shit at the game, but like the high I get from WoW is the social aspect, and this last fresh was to me like the least social WoW experience I had in a long time.
Go off what you said again. GDKP is the ultimate social experience, bro. More so than any other raid, because GDKPs is going to attract everyone from every cultural avenue, every guild, everything. Anniversary, I have yet to meet foreign players one time. I have yet to meet someone from like a different country one time. But like, I log on Era, it's just like 4 or 5 different languages in Discord. Like the Loon players, like they have a lot of money. Like the Chinese guild, bro, they have a lot of money. So like there's like that social hierarchy. There's like a social structure in GDKP land because of like people's cultural standing. I'm not even kidding, bro.
No, I know. Like I used to play Albion Online. Do you know anything about that game?
Which game?
Albion Online.
No, I've never played it.
It was like an MMO very similar to EVE Online. It's basically like GDKPs. It's all the politics and guilds are fighting over resources with each other and like money is king. And like it was like you could make entire videos on guilds because like a fucking guild had deep lore on it.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. If you played on Classic Era North America, you could make endless content. There's been so many wars on Classic Era. Like we made something called the Alliance Expeditionary Forces, which was a Psalm 2 months behind, like a bunch of other guilds fighting a guild called Wood Department, because every time we'd host an MC BWL GDKP, Wood Department would go guard the bridge into Black Rock Mountain, and we had to go out and make alliances with other guilds so we can go raid. And that doesn't happen in Anniversary. It does a little bit, but like when GDKPs are involved, like the world PvP becomes different because if you keep someone out of their lockout, that's money out of their pocket. And like the world PvP with GDKPs can get super fucking intense.
Well, it's been a while, so I can talk about this actually. Like in my vanilla guild, in my 2019 guild, like I was an officer, and my entire job was stealing people from other guilds, right? And one thing I would do is I would go on an ult to like some competing guilds raid. I would just go and like do something stupid and get like 20 people killed. I go like, oh, sorry, man. And then I would go to my main and I would whisper them and like, oh man, why are you in that guild? That guild sucks. Come to us.
That happened to me. That's how I got in 2019.
Might have been me.
I was like literally, dude. I was the top DPSer in Molten Core. I lost like Brutality Blade to a dude who was like 11 DPS, and like this random.
Oh my god!
Was like, hey bro, he's like, hey bro, like you know that one happened in my guild. He's like, yo, like it was like the guy with like the toothpick flipping the coin, like the loan shark. He stepped out of the shadows. And then I raided with them, and next week they gave me Brutality Blade, and like the month with it was called the Tail End, and I ended up raiding with them for 3 years, bro. When GDKPs are allowed, man, you don't have to do that ever. Like you know how you recruit more people in your GDKP? Like I'll be like hosting AQ40 and like 3 other people host AQ40. They take 10% host cut. They take 15% host cut. I only do 5% host cut, and I'll empty out everyone else's raid because I literally don't. I pay the carriers more than the people who come to only buy. They still get their cut, but I like to pay the people who make my raids possible. And like I never have a problem filling raids in Era.
Yeah, that's the secret, right? Like having access to good players. Like the way I always saw it, like the gameplay of WoW is never like your buttons. It's just getting the right people to do what you need them to do. That's the way I always seen it.
And the problem is that that pool of players is becoming smaller and smaller because of the current loot apparatuses introduced into Anniversary. And it's just all these runs are SRs, HRs. It's like the contract that like Bilbo signed in like The Hobbit, bro. Like you go to a raid and it's just like 20 pages scrolled down. They're like, oh, you can roll on this, that. This is hard reserved. If you do this, you lose an SR. If you don't unboon, you lose an SR. Oh, if you unboon, you pull threat, you lose an SR. And it's just like it's like a contract, bro. Like in Classic Era when you want to raid, yeah, bro. Yeah, pee in the cup. Yeah, for real, bro. Like in Classic Era, when you want to raid, you just tell them how much gold you have and what item you want to go buy, and like 9 out of 10 times they will invite you.
Yeah, like I don't even know exactly why it's been deteriorated this much over the years. Like even before the GDKP ban, I feel like my kind of player, like the sort of casual, like social oriented player, has been like slowly pushed out of the game over the last couple years really hard.
Yeah, and it's like I feel like a lot of those people like came to Classic Era, if I'm being quite honest, because like Classic Era is like
you got a community, not the most nice community, but it's a community, all right.
I'm not gonna lie, it's been pretty nice lately. Like all the toxic people are on Anniversary, and I love it. Like all the super toxic people are on Anniversary and Classic Era. I've not had a problem with any other players yet.
I believe it.
Yeah, like I that's why I'm saying like I kind of like should shut my mouth. I'm kind of happy they keep GDKP's ban on Anniversary because Era's kind of becoming like this secret like house party spot, and like everyone's like really cool with each other. Like I've only taken like 2 cuts while hosting GDKPs, and it's because like low uptake time. Like before, bro, like you'd have people like not Sunder, you have people not demo shout, you'd have people like grief raids, and that's like I had it happen once with the wood department guy like 3 weeks ago. But yeah, no, it's dude, like ever since Anniversary, like I praise Anniversary. It kind of took all the players, like the assholes, and put them in one place.
I think I did the wrong thing playing in PvP. I feel like as stupid as it sounds, I would have a much happier time playing on PvE, just because I think the kind of player that went to Dreamside is different.
I'm the youngest out of my 3 brothers. Both my older brothers play in Dreamside. I'm not even kidding.
They probably have a better life than mine.
Oh, dude, I was like, my brother Chris. I was like, yo, Chris, like, how much is Flask of Titan? He's like 50, 60 gold.
Holy shit!
I was like, what? He's like, yeah. Everyone can farm. There's no one getting farms like PvP. There's no bots here. All the bots are in fucking our like Night Slayer. Like all the bots are in our shit, bro. Like he's like, there's no bots. There's like very few bots on Dreamside.
I get peer pressured every every time into rolling PvP, man. That's the problem. All my friends tell me to go PvP, and I don't want to go PvP, but I end up going, and every time I end up regretting it.
I like PvP a lot, but I don't know. There's certain times when it gets a little too toxic. Like I'll get stream sniped by 15 different people. You probably got stream sniped before.
It's not even not really. I kind of just spend all my time in dungeons when I'm live on stream. I don't really go around in the world much.
You're smart. I stream everything I do, bro, and I pay for it.
It's not the ganking thing that I don't like about PvP. Like, if I get ganked every so often, not a big deal. Like, it's just, I feel that I would encounter more the kind of player I like in PvE right now than in PvP.
Yeah, the PvP server is very min-max, and my brothers actually say the same exact shit you just said. My brothers are like, everyone's way more relaxed. There's less HRs than like the PvE servers. And like I was surprised, bro. Both my brothers, my blood, bro. My own brothers went PvE this time because they're just like they're like, I feel like the economy is gonna be insane. I feel like it's just gonna get ridiculous because my brothers love GDKP too, but they're smart. They're like, GDKP, man, everything's gonna get expensive. They roll that dream scythe and like, yeah, it's a lot cheaper for them.
This is an era family. What have you done?
Yeah, bro. No, they're smart, bro, because you know they don't pay, like they don't have to get bent over when it's time for consumes, bro.
Yeah, when I heard how much Among Us was in Dreamside, I lost it. I went on the wrong server, man.
How much is Among Us on Dreamside?
I think it's 6 gold now. It used to be 6 gold last time I asked. Compare that to
so affordable.
Night Slayer. Yeah, it's actually reasonable. Can you believe that?
I gotta check my Night Slayer character.
No GDKPs in PvE would be it wouldn't be nearly as bad, right? Because at least you can kind of reasonably get the money.
GDKPs, bro. That's what I'm saying. Going back to earlier, the 20. If you just do your 20s lockouts alone on Classic Era, I have more than enough money to buy consumables for every, like not every 40, but by the time you run other GDKPs, your consumes are already, like, just going to the raid itself, your consumes are guaranteed paid for. But the thing is, an anniversary, you go to consumes, you lose your bis, you get you don't get gold, you don't get anything you want. It's just double negative, in my opinion.
Yeah, like the fact that it's 100 gold for a flat skin era and 70 on Night Slayer should tell you everything about the economy right now.
And Night Slayer is 100, but on Classic Era is 300. But the currency, there's more currency.
Oh, like, what was it that you compared 70 to 100 then? It wasn't a flask? What was it?
No, a stack of mongoose.
Oh, yeah, that.
Era, 100 gold. A stack of mongoose on fresh for 70.
30% difference after 5 years of inflation.
Yeah, think about that. That's what I'm saying. GDKPs regulates currency, and when you regulate a currency, that prevents hyperinflation from occurring.
Not gonna lie, you just blew my mind. I didn't know the prices in Era. You just blew my mind, man.
Oh no, that's an argument I make every day on stream, and then people are like, I get a lot of trolls sometimes because like it's just me. They're like, oh, it's too easy to compare those two things. It's like, it's actually not easy to compare those things at all, because Classic Era has been around for 5 years, and there's the redistribution of wealth from GDKPs, and that's why consumables, there's a market regulation. On Anniversary, there's no market regulation because there's no splits. You're not getting gold from anything. Like, there's nothing. There's no GDKP. You have to go out and farm all your own gold. And that's why I think that is the main catalyst for people quitting Anniversary right now.
Yeah, I think AQ will be like the ultimate test to that 100%. Because a lot of people are running on fumes right now. And when that time goes double, they are gone.
Like,
that was me.
PvP on Anniversary, bro, like I could only do a few like hours before I'm like, all right, I can't keep spending gold because I need gold for raids. But like in like Classic Era, there's a lot of world PvP. Like, people will blow every consume in the book because GDKPs, like, it just lets people play more freely, and then like you get really good PvPers on Era because that's all they do is play PvP, but they need to go PvE to pay for PvP. So a lot of my own GDKPs are filled with PvPers just trying to like fund their insanity, and I love it. But like in Anniversary, it's a penalty to PvP. It's like world PvP has no cohesion because like it's super expensive. Like, I don't want a world PvP on Anniversary at all.
You pop a FAP and you're kind of crying.
Oh, dude, you know, I was in Mordon, one-shotting mages on my paladin. I spent like 10 sappers, bro. Oh my god, that was like 120 gold, bro. And like 10 sappers on like Era is 150 gold. Like,
it's crazy, man. And like the frost oil and the nature protection, so don't forget about those. Those are gonna go like insane.
Oh no, I use frost oil on my paladin for seal twisting, bro. Like, it's expensive. Stack of frost oil is 40 gold. Let's see what's frost oil on there is.
It's probably not that far. It's probably not even that far from that. And AQ isn't even out.
Frost oil on Classic Era is 12 gold per. That's
Oh
fucking
my
dirt cheap.
god.
A stack of frost oil is
It's cheaper in Era. You're not shitting me.
if you go based on conversion kind of like currency conversion value, 1 for 1, yeah, it's cheaper.
This is crazy, man.
And the thing is too, my chat says, Dirk Rush says, it's too easy to make gold on it's too easy to make gold on Era versus Anniversary.
Yeah, like I bet if you go to farm some herbs, you make like 1,000 gold pretty quickly by now. If
Dude,
you
in
know what to
Classic
farm.
Era, and this is my biggest question is like, Greek, how do you get started in Classic Era if you have nothing? Dude, if you just go out and like righteous orbs on Classic Era are 300 each. If you go to Strath Live for 10 hours, you can accumulate enough of a financial portfolio to probably bid on AQ gear. Like if you farm in Classic Era, because GDKPs are a thing, farming becomes more rewarding. And that's another segue I want to talk about in general is if you farm in Classic Era, you get more rewarded. But like an Anniversary, they're like, you must farm to do raids. And it's like, you don't feel rewarded, you feel punished. And that punishment becomes further exasperated when you don't get anything when you lose OSG versus GDKP land. Like you get paid at the end, and those people will get that they're farming to even like be allowed to come to raid, make money.
I don't want to misrepresent your point, okay? You're saying that in GDKPs the swiping still exists, but the swiper gold gets funneled back into other people, meanwhile in like Anniversary is just concentrated on the swipers.
Yeah, like, and honestly, like a lot of my friends in Classic Era, like they don't swipe because gold is so expensive in Classic Era. Gold is more expensive in Classic Era than it is in Anniversary right now because of all the returning players. Like how I make gold is I literally host raids all day long for 4% host cut. But like if you have nothing in this game and you don't want to swipe, you can go out and farm and make like buku bucks, bro. It's insane.
There you
But
go.
like an Anniversary, you're forced to farm. And then like you don't get anything at the end. And half the time you farm, it's either you have to get rank 14 or farm. And it's like if you farm enough gold to buy your consumes and you're not rank 14, you're not going to go in that raid anyway. But if you spend like at least you do a few Strath like lives and the Classic, bro, you have an Era, you have so much money. Like it pays to farm an Era more so on Anniversary.
I think a great video you could make actually is how to get started on Era. Just going through all of that.
I was thinking about doing something like that.
Because like as a non-Era player, I feel that way. A lot of the time, like, oh, it must feel insurmountable to get all this gold to get in a GDKP. Like, how do you think is the fastest way to get enough gold to start doing GDKPs and to maybe list gold or something?
What I tell everyone in my chat is go farm your Priebus. And then you go live in Strath Live for a couple of days and just collect orbs. And you can literally, like, orbs are 300 each. If you learn how to tank or you get a healer, the healer and tank always get first 2 orbs every time. But if you DPS, you can even still make money. It is very easy to get into a GDKP. And my min bids in ZG, MC tier 1 are 300. And since like no one farms in Classic Era, if you just farm a little bit, like even you spend 1 hour farming, bro, like you get a stack of Playground, that will go so far in raids. And like it's honestly, I'd say it's easier to start on Classic Era versus Anniversary because GDKP, like me, I take poorer people to my GDKPs. Like if someone's like, oh, I only got 500, I'm like, so you're someone that's going to bid on T1. Yes, I need those buyers. Those people, you need those people to buy tier. You need those people to buy items that all the other biz people already have. Yo, Qualified, thank you so much for the prime and fall. I really appreciate that, brother. But I just feel like it's easier to play Classic Era when GDKP is involved because there's so many money making methods. There's so many farms you can do. And then you can just go to raid. But like when you play Anniversary, you have to farm, then you have to get to rank 14. Like, oh, ZG rank 14 required. ZG was made to be a catch-up raid. And they're treating ZG as this like holy grail of a raid that people are creating variables to gatekeep other players with. And it's just super toxic, bro. It's not the spirit of MMORPG.
I think the community will benefit a lot from you making a guide on how to get started on Era, like how you benefit. Because I think a lot of people don't want to do it because they don't know how to start. Like, they don't know how to get into the system.
Once I get I'm buying a house pretty soon. I'm going to get really big into like video editing. It's kind of like super loud where I live, my apartment. But I was like thinking about getting more into YouTube. But I really wanted to make like a classic, like versus Anniversary and be like why you should play Classic Era kind of deal.
There is a lot of people out there that want to play Era and they don't for one reason or the other. I think you would make a big difference if you did.
Like one of my top comments right now was from Jax. He's like, I started an Era with 0 gold. I farmed Priebus and dungeons and I didn't need to buy 20-man raid gear. I made enough gold farming AQs in ZGs on my weekly resets in conjunction with ZG, and I had enough of a financial portfolio to go into other raids. Literally, there is a little toxicity of GDKP sometimes with new players because they expect those new players to buy like 100,000 gold. I don't like that. I don't agree with that notion. I like newer players that have little gold because once you pay them, they get addicted, and those people will come and buy something every time I'm married. Like you don't need a lot of gold to contribute to a GDKP, and that's why like I really like poorer players in conjunction with a mix of rich players. And when GDKPers are involved, it's like a real economy, bro. It's like a real real life economy. Everyone does
That's
their
a
part.
good point, actually. Because you would assume you want only like full vesting slot people with money, but that's not necessarily the biggest pot you can get.
Well, the people that have full BIS with a lot of money usually want like OSG, double bindings. It's like an ecosystem, man. For example, when I host MC, it's really hard to sell T1. Really hard to sell it. I will do 300, like other raids will do like 1,000 per T1 piece. I don't agree with that. I do 300 per T1 piece. I bring in poor players with a mix of wealthy players, so that like they feed on the here, and then like if double bindings drop like 2 weeks ago, I have big buyers, or OSG drops, I have big buyers. And that's why I feel like GDKP represents the MMORPG genre better than banning it. Because GDKP creates a financial ecosystem where like it's the same people coming back. There's like a pecking order. It's literally like a real life animal ecosystem.
Well, I don't know. I feel like a lot of my notions on GDKPs were challenged today. Like the second you showed me the auction house in era, that was such a mind moment. Not gonna lie, I
Oh
was assuming
no,
it was
oh
gonna be
no,
like 300.
no, it's more regulated because there's more people because the auction house is cheaper in era, and I would debate any developer until I'm blue in the face in this. Because people are spending their gold on gear, not consumables. And anniversary is a complete inverse of that notion.
It's just crazy. It shouldn't even be close. Like it should be at least 5 times more for everything. In 5 years of
No,
inflation.
you'd think that, but no.
Yep.
Because Classic Era has a revolving door of people, and I've noticed recently a massive influx of new players. Those new players are the ones farming those potions. Those are the people who don't have gold, they don't want to swipe. They're like, hey, I'm just going to go farm and sell it to the people who buy gold. Yada, yada, yada. And that's why consumes are cheap. Commodities are cheaper on Era because there's your farm is more rewarded on Era versus Anniversary because your gold is not only the golden ticket into getting raids, but it's also a currency that you use in raids versus is a golden ticket in Anniversary where it's required you to go into a raid with ring 14. You can, if you have like 10,000 gold and you're naked, you will go and like people take you to make you.
I'm not gonna live very long.
Like there's people on Era, like look at I'll try to find them. There's like people that have like 10 of the same alt. And like what they do is they'll bring in like a naked fresh level 60 in the max with like 1 million gold and just cause like get everyone a big pot payout. Do you think that ever happened in Anniversary? They'd taken a naked person like into a raid? No.
Rank 14, man. No rank 14, no loot.
Oh, like, oh, you're not rank 14. Yeah, dude, that's why I hate it, bro. Like let's look at LFG from my hand. Services. Oh wow, there's an SR, and that's the thing too. And this is what I like about Era. There's SRs too. It's not everyone just GDKPing all the time. There's SRs for new players too. There's an AQ20 GDKP. There's a MC. There's a
At this time of night, I think there is easily more race in era right now than in anniversary because like it's NA only, like what you're saying, I guess.
bro.
Like there's European people in there or something.
Wait till the Chinese log in at 3 a.m. Like the party really begins when they. I'm not even kidding, bro. Like 2-3, they all log in.
You know,
5-10 raids will go
I
out,
only
bro.
know those two types of Chinese players, awesome and suck, and there is never an in between. There is never a Chinese player I met that I thought this guy is an normal person, okay person. It's only those two, like super nice or like awful.
No, but no, that's the thing. Like that may be your view, but like in Classic Era, they're very nice. They're very good
No,
at
no,
the
no.
game.
They exist.
Yeah.
Like they are like super polite and cool or awful. There is no in between in my experience. You know what I mean?
That's all, and that's all players, and that's all players, man. That's all players. That's not just them. That's
I
all
don't know.
players because
Back in
like
TVC, I loved them. Like they were actually super cool in TVC private servers.
I like having them in my raids more than most people because they're gonna bid on gear, play really well, and they're gonna shut the fuck up.
They never
Like
complain. That's the best thing about them. They never complain.
They never complain. And the thing is, I have a very cheap host cut, bro. They come to my raid more than their own raids because their host cut with their guild is like 8 to 12% sometimes. And that's why I
Damn.
like GDKPs, because you start playing with the formula. Like, for example, the average GDKP, they only pay the top 3 like performers. My GDKP, I pay the top 5 performers 1%. I pay top 5 DPS 1%. I pay the top 5 healers 1%. I give the tanks, the trash tank, like that tank's trash, like 1%. I give my off tank 2%. I give the main tank 3%. Other raids don't do that. And like once you start paying your players and your carriers more, your GDKP, like right now I'm not hosting, bro, because I'm locked out of everything.
Free
But
market
like
competition, man. That's how it should be,
that's
you
what
know?
I'm saying.
Like, if people don't like your prices, they go somewhere else.
And that's the thing. I wish they apply that mentality to other looting systems because they're like, oh, we're against GDKP. Okay, you can be against GDKP. Just respect our lifestyle, please. It's like anything in real life, bro. It's like anything in real life. Respect my lifestyle and I will respect yours. And the thing is, those people that are against GDKPs do not respect my lifestyle to the point they think my lifestyle should be not allowed because of their interpersonal beliefs. They let people have a choice for the subscription in which they pay for. And I don't like how they handle the GDKP ban at all.
Yeah, like, and I say this as somebody that is not too inclined to GDKPs at all personally. Like, I'll tell you my entire take on GDKPs. I don't prefer them, but just like I try to put myself in like your shoes. Like, if they try to take away the way I play, I would be pretty pissed. You know, like I don't go out of my way to get GDKPs banned, even if I don't quite like them, to play in them. Because why would I do that? Like, what do I gain by just ruining the game for people that want to play differently? I would say I play differently than a lot of people out there, and I don't want those people trading on me. Like, the fact they forced me to get rank 14, it got me mad. You know what I mean?
Check this out. This guy is like selling herbs right now in trade. Like everyone's selling materials in trade. This is why like everything's so cheap in classic era.
That's funny.
Like farming, dude. I'm telling you, farming in classic era goes so much farther than anniversary. It's fucking crazy, bro.
Well, you can't because you're competing with all the bots.
There's not that many. There's bots here still, but like we just farm them off. Like people will just log on. Like the PvP people, like if they catch wind, there's like a bot farm tomorrow. Like they just all go tomorrow. Like that's their world PvP for the day. Like I like classic era, man, because it's just like it feels like the Wild West where the players have the power. And that's why I prefer classic era more than anniversary, because anniversary feels like a failed dictatorship because they're telling us what we can and can't do. But in classic era, we have the right to choose, and that right to choose is causing more players to come back and log in versus anniversary at the moment.
Well, I think a lot of people are gonna come to era very soon, and I just wanted to show your point of view to everybody out there because there is a lot of notions about vanilla, a lot of assumptions about vanilla that I do not like and people make. I think there's a lot of narratives from both sides of the GDKP argument that I think are pretty nonsense, and I want people to see the other side. People don't get to see this side anymore. For all the people that are considering going to era right now, what would you tell them?
This is what I want. This is actually what I wanted to close out on. I was actually going to ask you to give me a final say. If you log in the era today and you get to 60 and you GDKP, not only you feel like you have a home, but you're going to want to make more alts to play more raids, to play with your friends more often. I'm locked down on all my characters right now. Everyone in my guild's leveling alts right now because we're locked on everything. And I want to log in the era every day because I feel like I have friends here, like Zorro right next to me, one of the best pumpers in the game. People's names have reputations to them. Like I recognize a lot of people in Stolen right now. Classic era feels more like an MMORPG / a home than any other game I've ever played in my life. Like this guy right next to me, Casca. He's bought a lot of gear in my GDK.
Oh my god, Thunders, thank you for the 15.
This guy next to me, Respiria
Much love,
T.
homie.
The Respiria's all. Respiria's like
20,
one of the
sorry.
best speedrunners in
Cannot
North
read
America.
anymore. Thank you for the support, man. I really appreciate it.
He's from Maloon, the guild that has a lot of money. King Bradley next to me. He's maintained many of my raids.
The fact you can recognize everybody.
Oh, I can literally recognize everyone. Like
private server vibes.
Like, Max here, yeah, like Slay. This guy next to me, Slay. He has like 10 characters with THC, Gressel, Tigers. Like this is all he does. And like I log on anniversary, bro, and it just feels like gatekeeping, and I don't want to log in on it, man. Like I don't want to play anniversary anymore because I don't have that feel that I don't feel like I'm at home. When I log on Classic Era, man, I feel like I'm at home. I feel like I actually belong somewhere.
Yeah, like it's different to see it. I'm showing your stream right now to the people watching this. I felt it was very important to show your point of view on this. Yeah, people are saying he's right. He's right. People are spamming. He's right. Look
Yeah,
at
like
that.
XV, this guy next to me, he's one of my moderators. He's like one of my AQ40 tanks. He loves GDKPs. Like I literally recognize everyone. He
All
like
the
Tavasy, he's in my
names.
guild.
What's that old TV show from the 80s? So the guy that walked into the bar and everybody yelled his name every time.
Oh, dude, that's literally what classic era is, bro. Like
Cheers.
I'll show you like my DMs. Hey, bro, are you hosting tonight? Are we sending 20s today? Hey, can you tank this for us? Hey, Big Greek, what are you doing tonight? Like people know me as like I host. I host all the time. But like my closing argument is like, guys, if anniversary doesn't feel right, I promised you keep the if my boosters in here, just keep the extra once I'm 60, bro. Like, and that's the thing. I tip my boosters a lot because going back on that economic perspective and how real world interactions affect people. A lot of boosters are from South America. 600 gold goes very far in their country because of currency conversion values. It's a gray area, but there's people that live in other parts of the world where they're not fortunate to live in America or Europe and have the same luxuries we do. So I like to tip my boosters extra because I know that's going to probably feed them, give them a little bit more food for the night. And you people may say I'm sounding super cringe. Classic era is made up of people from everywhere up in the world, and the GDKP and economy has very really real world effects. And your relationships, even with your boosters, are very important. And I do not have that same feeling on anniversary.
Damn it, that's kind of wholesome. You got me a little emotional. Yeah, there's
dude,
people
all the
living through
boosters
the collapse of their nation right now. Wow, I know some of those people.
Oh, dude, like 10 of my boosters. Like I have like 10 boosters in my guild. I just give them work all the time. Like
Do you
I
got a
literally
little time for an anecdote actually from like TVC? This is kind of sad actually. I used to play TVC private servers with a bunch of Venezuelans playing in like a Spanish-speaking guild. This was
Was
like
it during the collapse?
yeah, pretty much like the start of the
Oh my
collapse,
God, dude.
2017, and Maduro was gonna reform the constitution to like get president for life and all that bullshit, right? And they were saying, they were talking in Reddit like, oh yeah, tomorrow we're gonna go protest, we're gonna shut down the street, this and that. They never show up again in my life. They disappear off the game entirely.
I have Chinese friends that disappeared too, man.
Yep.
Like I'm not
And
even kidding. During COVID.
a year ago, more or less, a year ago, I get a DM from one of them. They got thrown in jail. They just got out like
That's
3
what-
years later, 4 years later.
I don't say what I'm about to say, but you know, like how people call them JA. Like I don't agree with that. I don't call them the J word. I don't make fun of them.
Oh, bro,
Like,
say Jaja. I love Jaja. I think it's hilarious.
no, but it's
You got the
people use
pass.
it as a
I give you the
derogatory-
pass.
I know, but people use it as a derogatory term against the boosters, and it's become they're mean. Like they use it as like a disrespectful term towards the boosters, and it's like I feel awful, bro. Like I play this game as my full-time job, and they play this game as their full-time job, bro.
Wow, that's actually
Like,
pretty deep. I never thought about it that way. Yeah.
Yeah, so like I don't know, I have like a really deep respect for them. Like I know it's their full-time gig. That's why like I always give them extra money when they take care of me.
Damn, man. Well, I think a lot of people are going to get a very different opinion of you after this. You know, there's a lot of people making assumptions out of you, and I hope people can see the real picture a little better now.
Dude, I just want to say it's an absolute pleasure meeting you, and like thank you for covering everything, man. Like it's just
I will
never
keep
heard
trying,
of you
man.
until you covered me, and like a lot of people are afraid to cover me because they're afraid they want to cover their asses. But I appreciate you like standing on business and having a backbone and believing in like
as long as there's things happening, I will be there, man. I will be there. You keep kicking some ass, okay? You go kick some ass. You give them hell.
Brother, it's been an absolute pleasure.
God bless you, homie. Subscribe to the main channel to catch the stream live. Also, join the Discord. Don't be a Winnie Hat Jr.